And there we go. Hey, it is streaming. WarThunder. Interesting. Well, hello and welcome to the Italian Air Sport. We're going to be playing some low-tier Italian today, and mostly focusing on this thing. What this thing is called, I don't remember. Let me head back to Hangar for a second. This has been one of my favorite planes to play recently, the FC-20 BIS, because its main armament is a 37mm autocannon with 42 rounds of armor-piercing high explosive with 48mm of pen. This thing can one-shot tanks, and it's an autocannon, so accuracy is not necessary. So that being said, let's go ahead and get going. Oh, wow. The goal is essentially to get a couple of kills and then die. That's about it, to be honest. I want to spend as much time as I can actually playing in the plane, which means, of course, less time on the ground. I think I need like one kill and possibly a capture, or like a kill and an assist should be enough to get it every time. It is slightly more expensive because it is considered an attacker and not just a fighter, which is unfortunate because the HE100 from the German tech tree is really fun to play. I think it's the V5, the one with the 20mm. Oh, I love that. I love that plane too. It's always the low tier planes that seem to be the most fun for me.
Artillery strike in your sector. Artillery strike. Coordinates.
Let's see if that artillery can clip someone.
Destroy. Charlie. Right. Acknowledge. Open fire.
And let's see if we can sneak on to this point before it gets captured completely. No. Oh. Maybe. I saw it. There we go, first kill. I saw it show me on the cap point before it got captured, but I didn't get any credit for it, which is frustrating, but at the same time I didn't do entirely much to deserve it, so... Okay, I can die happy now. Thank you, BT-42. Perfect timing. The only frustrating part about playing this plane is you do have to actually set up the gun for it. Because by default, it also shoots with the MGs, which I find very distracting. Because I think there's 4 of them mounted in the nose of this. And it's just hard to really tell where they're going. Wait, is it not 4? Is it really only 2? I thought there was... Is those like just coolant holes there? At the base of the wing? Guess those are just coolant holes. It is only 2. Okay. I was deceived. I thought this thing had more guns on it than it does. Doesn't really matter because we're not using any of the other guns. Just a big boy. Looking for target. Nope. Looking for target. Three shots, one kill. Second one actually hit him. Problem is we don't have the best air combat capabilities. Looks like that plane might be turning towards me. Nope, it looks to be another bomber. Okay. Kill, one shot. That's an A8. That's an A8. And that's my right engine gone. Okay. Okay. I already know that I can't survive with only one engine, so I might just head back to base right now. If that right engine dies, I'm dead. I'm dead. There's no way to keep this up in the air with only one engine. So we're just gonna hightail it out of here. Pretty sure, yes, I do have this spaded. I was going to say, I'm not sure if I can actually get the cooling any better, because you can really easily burn oil out of this thing. Normally I don't do geared landings, but this one's so easy to do them on. There we go. And do complete stop. Oh, we should have plenty of time to get into the air again. Especially seeing as we're losing.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones. The enemy controls most of the strategic zones.
Toggle it. And see if we can get back in the air.
Attack the C point. Excellent.
There we go.
Returning to the base. The enemy is winning. We must counterattack. Attack the B point.
There we go.
The Allied forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone.
Alright, where's... I know there's some things in spawn, which there's that AA shooting at me, and I know we'll go head on with that. I also love that this thing just has takeoff flaps all the time. So it's like the best flaps. Ooh, you look tasty. And you're dead now. Alright, engines are good. Gunner's dead. That's a problem. Ow. Stop shooting at me. Oh, okay, that's a problem. And I don't have the bombs on this, so I can't even use them to defend me. Come on. Low and slow. Stay with me. Stay with me, buddy. See if the base can help me. Because I don't think that JU's coming. Hi. Hi. He's gonna ram me. He's gonna ram me. Fucker. I can't get another one, unfortunately. Oh well. Guess we actually have to do something now. Oh, that's another one that's really fun to play. Hi, Sprout. Unfortunately, I've already been killed in my plane, so we're just playing some fun with the Italians at the moment. Italian low tier is just memey and wonderful. Sure. I'm mildly afraid of what you're about to say. However, I will give it a chance. And just dumb people doing dumb things on the internet because they find it funny to be offensive. Why would that be? You know, I was expecting worse to come out of that. It's pretty sad that the fucking Twin Tower joke is not the worst thing I would have expected. Did I hit his bomb? Did he have a bomb? He just evaporated. Alright, let's clear out this belt real quick. There we go. And we're done. There we go.
Objective achieved.
This spaghetti gun. I love, like, the Lancia 3 Row is also one of my favorite vehicles in the game, solely because you can do some really dumb stuff with this thing at high BRs. I've had streams where I've killed 4 or 5, like, 9.0s, 8.0-ish vehicles with this thing. This thing is one of the best hill snipers in the game because it has such a low velocity shell. You can shoot things that can't even see you. It's kind of the same reason I ended up getting in on the BMP3, falling in love with that.
Into your vehicle.
Ready up. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
Loader ready.
Best BR I have, I think, is 11.0. 11.0 Russia. I have one of the premiums and one of the event vehicles. And then just by default, I think Russia's still one of my highest at like 9.3. in the normal tech tree. Just because I went full send and like decided to power grind into the BMP3 because I wanted to do artillery shenanigans with it. Yeah. It's like 11.0, 11.3, I think, is the one premium that I have. I'm just playing this BR because I find this BR fun, and I also really love that plane. That plane is so much fun to use. 37mm autocannon on an attack plane. Is more than a little bit broken at 2.0. Do I have Hans? I believe I have Hans. Maybe. I've got Germany up to 8.3. I think I do actually have like a single 9.0 in Germany. My highest BRs are, I think, Italy. I think I have Italy 9.3. I know I have Russia. I have Russia 9.3 in the tech tree, but then I have up to 11.0 when it comes to like event vehicles and stuff. Germany, I think I have 8.3 or 9.0 in the tech tree, and I know I have 9.0 when it comes to events and premium stuff. America, I think I have 9.0. I know I have 8.3 because I have the Bradley and stuff. I don't think I can pen this. Oh no, he got my gunner. Fuck. I have 10.3 in Russia. There is no 10.4 because it goes 0370. But I'm assuming you mean 10.3. I've played a little bit of everything except for I haven't played Japan or China really. So America, I think I'm at 8.390. Hi, Truss. Germany, I'm at like 8.3. British, I think I'm at like 5.3 actually. British is one that I could do some work on. Oh, I was not paying any attention to ground vehicles there. Russia, like I said, I'm at 11.0. I haven't touched Israel either. French, I'm at 5.360, I think. Italy, like I said, I'm already like 9.0, 9.3-ish. Trying to think what else, what other tech trees there are and where I'm at in them. I think that's all the tech trees. Could be wrong. Am I missing a tech tree? I don't touch the battle pass. I've touched one battle pass, and it was because it had the Italian version of the flak bus. It had the Italian flak bus, and I love the Italian tech tree, so I needed the flak bus. I haven't touched a single other battle pass. I have no clue what's on the battle pass. I don't really care what's on the battle pass. I'm not going to grind for the battle pass. Honestly, I think battle passes are a really bad mechanic for video games that banks on people's fear of missing out to force them to play non-stop. Yeah, the Beretta. I have the Beretta.
Target destroyed.
Battle passes in gaming are one of those things that I genuinely hate. Just because they're engineered to play off of people's fear of missing out. Oh yeah, this is for fun. I don't play WarThunder for the grind. I do it for the fun. I find vehicles that I enjoy and then I just play them.
We've been hit. Target destroyed.
Like, for example, Germany's HE100, I think the V5 specifically has a 20 mil in the nose of it. It's a really fun plane to play. There's, I think, the JU-88 as well. Oh, Sweden. Sweden's the other one. Sweden, I'm at like 50, 60, I think. Sweden has a JU-88 as well. They're really fun because they have 28 50-pounders. And while 50-pounders are not big, when you're throwing 4 or 5 of them at every single target you bomb, they do damage. So the German JU-88 is really good. The HE-100 is really good. Love playing the American Lee and the Grant. I love those two, especially with the 75 stabilized casemate. That and double cannons. Dual cannons are always just fun. And the fact that it is a dual cannon tank that isn't some fucking premium vehicle makes the Grant a really good vehicle. No, I don't play Roblox, and I don't really intend to. I played it fucking back when I was like 8 or some shit. Roblox is not a new video game. I got me. M18. M18's fun. It's not my cup of tea. I would rather play the M1 or the T1E1 backwards. Stick the T1E1 in reverse gear and just go. Do I still have Roblox? I wouldn't even know where to start logging in again. I probably still have an account somewhere. Hey, first place. USA. I don't really play a lot of planes. Here's my USA 8-3. Starting to get into 9-0 territory. Germany 8-3. Yeah. USSR 9-0, BMP3, but I do have the Object 292 and the T80UM. I don't have a premium vehicle. This is an event vehicle. Never mind, I don't have a premium Russia. It was an event vehicle, apparently. 5-3. I have the Tog. Truss. The T1E1 is faster than a Sherman with a bigger gun, more armor when you're playing it in reverse, and a 37 millimeter alongside it. The T1E1 in reverse is so broken. I haven't even touched China. Italy, 9-3, 8-3. They've added a lot of tanks in here since I've been playing this. 5-0, 5-3. I did get the the broken Sherman because this thing is so broken too. Sweden, 5-0, 4-0, roughly. I haven't touched Israel. Okay, back to what we were actually playing today. Yes. The T1E1 backwards is amazing, and I remember when the M6A1 had the T1E1 transmission. I remember when it had that transmission. It used the M6A1 used to have the T1E1's transmission in it, and then they changed it to what it is now, and then they added the T1E1. No, it's better than the IS-1. Because it goes the exact same speed forward and reverse. And it's stabilized. The T1E1 is stabilized. It's a stabilized 76. It has the same gun as the M18. It's faster than the Sherman, and it's got better armor because you have the entire engine and all of the fuel between you and the opponent.
Artillery strike. Coordinates. Foxtrot. 3. Destroy.
Foxtrot! 3! Acknowledged! Open fire! Attack the D-point! I agree! Attack the C-point! Returning to... Thanks.
Tank. 1 o'clock. Range. 650.
There we go.
Target destroyed.
The tombstone. God, is that a fucking Death Race reference? Oh, I don't get my plane. T1E1, get it. Honestly, if you need to grind for an event, the T1E1 is one of the most fun tanks to use because it is broken. Because it's at that, like, good, it's at a really good BR, 5.3. Just drive. It has both guns. The 37mm, while not perfect, is still good at destroying a lot of light vehicles. And it's more than capable of killing a T-34 through the turret ring. And it's actually a bit of a running joke with me and some friends when I play the T1E1 that I just disrespect people by killing them with the 37. Also, there's a lot of players who don't understand that the T1E1 has two guns and that you can bind them to separate keys, meaning you can use the 37mm to bait people out of cover to drive in front of the 76. I have done it. It is funny. I have literally had like 3 people in a match get baited by the 37mm, and I literally had to tell them in chat how I was doing it, what I was doing, and to stop fucking falling for it because it's the dumbest trick in the book to use a secondary weapon to bait someone out of a out of a like corner or out of a hole or out of their like shooting position. Hello. Bus stop? Oh, I just saw something. There it is.
Tag, 8 o'clock. Range, 550.
Where'd you go? There you went. Whee?
Squash it. Loaded.
Problem is, this thing has zero traction. Bloop. Oh, God. Almost. Almost, almost. Bloop. Got it.
Target destroyed.
Oh, hi, book.
Squash it. Loaded.
Got shot at by something. Where was it?
Squash it. Loaded. Attack the B point. Attack the D point.
I'm waiting for this guy to fucking Mufasa me. Just shove me off the edge. Long live the king. Oh. Hey, we got a kill. No! I want my plane! Can I... No, that doesn't even change the cost of it. No. Does this change the... Yes. But I want... Alright, we're going for the bad belts. Going for the bad belts. Just because I really want to fly this. Alright, guns selected.
Enemy forces have captured.
Trying to think of like other tanks that I really enjoy. The R3, the double barrel HE spewers are fun. Thing to note with those, you can use the MGs because they're ballistically matched to know where the round is going to land. It's really fun, really nice. Really nice. Ballistically matched guns are really good. I'm pretty sure the American 76 has it as well. Can't really see target. There he is. Nope, not quite. Plane's on me. Got him to wave off. I don't think he liked how accurate that fire was. He's coming again. Fuck. No! God, the Fokker. Hey! Got someone. The Fokker has a really high fire rate. And before I forget to, I'm putting this back. The M50. The M50 has them as well. But the R3 I enjoy just because it's a race car with guns. The 100 and... Is it 120? There's 105 millimeter. Oh, there's a light tank here. Hi, buddy. I almost died there. I almost just whiffed that. That would have been bad. I just love that the Italians, everything the Italians build are just race cars. Race cars with guns. Saw something pop up on radar right here.
Target damage.
Yeah, where'd the other one go? No, like, seriously, where'd the other plane go? There he is. I don't know what that maneuver was, but I don't think it was a smart one.
Target destroyed.
You say it has 106 milliliters? I swear it's a 105, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was called a 106 because of military bureaucracy and stupidity of logistics. Because there's, whether or not it's been confirmed, yeah, kamikaze stall. Whether or not it's been confirmed, it's kind of been like this joke of, yeah, the reason it's called a 76 is not because it's a 76 millimeter, it's just because it's a 75 that they were afraid of mixing up with something else. Or like, they called it a 106, even though it's a 105, just because they had a 105 somewhere else in the military, and they didn't want the two numbers to be confused. Because if somewhere, someone in the logistics train messed up those numbers, you might end up with recoilless rifle shells at an artillery depot. Or vice versa, artillery shells at a recoilless rifle tank. Or, well, I guess it was more of a self-propelled artillery. No, what was the M50 used for? Wasn't it just like, was it tank destroyer? Was it that just its actual intended role?
Target destroyed.
Or was it like a bunker buster style?
Target destroyed.
Also autocannons. Yes, autocannons.
Target destroyed. Target hit.
Still can do the AA. It's a 105 that identifies as a 106, yeah. Hey, we can get a second one out here. It's not really worth it, but I could do it.
Most of the zones are under control.
I wouldn't even get to, I don't think I'd get to the battlefield in time to actually be useful. As tempting as it is to pull out a respawn for that. Yeah, I was using an anti-tank vehicle, but was used as in anti-infantry. Yeah. I've also seen people memeing with WarThunder of like, oh yeah, how we keep getting all these like ATGM carriers and stuff. We need the Willys Jeep with the recoilless rifle bolted to it. That's what we need in WarThunder. So he can have a low tier tank destroyer that's just a paper mache Jeep with a gun just welded to the back of it. I've actually seen an M50. I went to a tank museum and got to see a scout variant of the M50.
Artillery strike, coordinates. Foxtrot, 4, destroy.
Foxtrot, 4, acknowledge. Open fire. Our victory is near.
Aye. You've made a mistake. How did that kill the driver?
Target destroyed.
The Vespa 105. Buddy, you might not want to be on the point. Okay, good. I think he's down actually at the little sniping post there. Should have repaired on the point in hindsight, but hey, I'm here now. Doesn't matter much. Just another 10 seconds.
Engines online.
Something like the Type 93. No, if you've actually, there's like a bunch of pictures from the Vietnam War of Jeeps that had the 105, the recoilless 105 from the M50, just like mounted onto the corner, like the back corner of the Jeep's bed, essentially. Where's that hitting me from? I'm gonna angle a little bit, try and find it. There you are. As soon as I find it, it kills me. Nice. I don't have another vehicle. I'm going to assume we win this. I'm going to be upset if we don't, but there's a lot of pictures of just like Jeeps with the recoilless rifles like just mounted to them. And the idea was like, because it was a recoilless rifle, you just needed something to transport it. And you would just drive the Jeep, park the Jeep, and ta-da, you've got an anti-tank gun. It's basically self-propelled anti-tank gun, is all it was. Yeah, kinda. But this was like the Willys Jeep. This was like the old Jeep. Not the Hummer fancy stuff. Ooh. It's an A only map.
To battle.
Button up. Driver
Shoot and
ready.
run. Shoot and scoop. Shoot and scoop. Gotta go. Fire and flee. Kind of like that one more, fire and flee, because it just imposes this idea of panic. That sort of, there is no control, there is shoot the gun and run.
Artillery strike, coordinates. Echo, 5, destroy.
Echo, 5, acknowledged. Open fire.
I like the smoke lingers a lot longer. Hi there, buddy. Commander, driver, gunner.
Target damage.
I'm dead here. No, I'm not.
Target destroyed.
They're not bolted, but welded. I can't say I've inspected the construction of them.
Advance.
Usually when I say bolted, I mean like they were just kind of put in there in some way. Like, I don't think it was ever intended to be placed there. I think they just kind of did it. In whatever way was the easiest. Hey, there's a tank you don't see very often. The Ocelot, or Electo, not Ocelot. Same letters, different organization. Is Electo and Ocelot actually a perfect, like, anagram?
Target destroyed. Target hit.
What? Also, what bounced me?
System.
Hey, we traded. Bum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Here we come with the big old gun. Was thermite welded? Yeah. I'm not entirely sure, so correct me on this, but I feel like a lot of those were more field modifications than actually intended or like, hey, this is something we're going to do with our vehicles. Feels like they just had, hey, we have these guns lying around, let's just bolt them to things. Oh, I forgot to do that to my 5111. There we go. Ooh-doo. Here we go. Another round. Maybe this time I actually see where my gun's going. There we go. That's better. Yeah, this is the actual focus of the stream, is this plane. Do I have a plane on me? Or is that just an AA? I think that was just an AA. There's like the FC-20 BIS. That's what this plane is called. It is quite the thing. It's got a 37mm autocannon that, as you can see, goes thunka 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 with APHE shells that have like 40mm a pen. This thing is really fun. Don't get greedy, don't get greedy! I got greedy. I ain't even mad. Oh, it's friendly, good. No, it's not an air fortress. FC-20 BIS. Strike plane. There is another one that the Italians have that I am tempted to bring out. That is bigger. I might just put it on lineup just for the funny. What would I get rid of? I might get rid of the Fiat if I do. Just go full meme on the Italians and get rid of the only actual tank that I have here. Because the other one I think has like 120mm in it. It's this big cannon. It's this four prop. Like the German entry to, yeah. No, you're in my dead zone. You're in my dead zone. It's more like the if you wanted to see the Italian does have like a direct comparison to the duck. Let me grab it. This thing. 102mm. Oh, it's a 2.3. I don't want to go up to 2.3 to bring this. I'll just show it real quick. It is absolutely abysmal to fly this thing. But it does have 102 with 159mm of pen. So give you some context on how to play WarThunder. WarThunder, tank game. Usually you're playing actual, like, you know, tanks. I'm playing the Italians. They're playing race cars with guns strapped to them. Essentially, I'm playing realistic. There's an arcadier version where the game gives you some, like, hey, you shoot here to penetrate kind of markers and stuff. This is supposed to be more realistic. You actually have to, like, know how far away the tank is, get used to ranging, things like that. It's an actual, like, simulation setup so that your bullet actually is simulated where it impacts on the tank, how it interacts with that armor at that angle, and when it penetrates, what physical items will that bullet strike? Will it strike the gunner? Will it strike a radio? Will it strike a fuel tank? Yeah, it's basically a tank simulation game. And since I'm playing realistic, I can also bring aircraft with me and be close air support and just kind of shoot at things on ground. The Arado. Isn't the Arado pretty high up in the tech tree? Yeah, 6'3". I am nowhere near that in any of the planes. I think the highest BR plane that I have is like 4.0. It's a resource thing. So basically you get spawn points. The top right, that's how many spawn points I have. You get spawn points for doing game actions like capturing points, killing enemy tanks, assisting tanks, repairing allies, things like that. And then those points allow you to spawn more tanks as the match goes on, or in my case, a plane. Planes you can't spawn from the get-go, but there we go. You can't spawn a plane from the get-go. It costs too many points. So you have to get a couple of kills or a couple of game actions to get enough points to play a plane. Excuse me? That's better. Okay, there's our friendlies behind me. In certain BRs, you can actually start in a helicopter if you'd like. Hi, buddy. Bye, buddy. But planes are always something that you have to play as something else first to get into. Oh yeah, Navy. Yeah, there is an air-only game mode. There is a Navy game mode, which unfortunately has so little player base for some of the events that require you to play as a boat. People have gone to like the tank side of games and go, "Hey, can I beg like 4 of you to come play boats so I can actually fill a match?" But yeah, there is boats, there is tanks, there is planes. You can't see boats and tanks on the same maps, unfortunately. There we go. Finally died. 4 kills. However, there is a plane up, so I'm somewhat scared. I'm hoping allies are... Yeah, we got a few allies. Ooh, and I see another FC-20. Nice. Y35111. There we go. Yeah, back in 2019. I've played this game pretty regularly because I'm just absolute fucking tank nerd. If you've seen any of my older content, like in Scrap Mechanic and stuff. That being said, I have taken a couple of breaks from WarThunder just because WarThunder is only good because it's one of the only games that does what it does. WarThunder itself has a lot of practices that I don't agree with. I've already mentioned I'm not a fan of battle passes. What the f... I did actually make a video on WarThunder recently talking about how to do artillery, and they fixed one of the glitches in there that I mentioned, which is extremely amusing to me. However, it's frustrating because it was one of those glitches that I actually enjoyed. Oh yeah. I have played this game seriously, like when the mouse was re-released. They got rid of the mouse for a time and they're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be back for this week only because it's the anniversary. And it may never come back again. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna grab it. Oh no. You actually have to grind to it. It's not just like an event vehicle. No, you have to be at that place in the tech tree to unlock it. And I researched 6 tanks in 3 days. I went through like 6.3, like 6.0, 6.3, and like 7.0 in the span of 3 days to get the mouse. And I've done the same for the... Oh, he just got a fucking double kill. He just got a double kill off of me. And the Lee. No. He just got a fucking double kill off me. God damn it. What was I saying? I also, because I wanted the BMP3, because of the artillery shenanigans that I've done, I've shown and stuff, I researched it really fast. Boop. Bloop. Bloop.
Tank, 7 o'clock. Range, 750.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
Tank, 7 o'clock. Range, 750. Should deploy.
Hey, kill.
Target destroyed.
I don't like fucking games that like intentionally try and exploit FOMO, where it's like, hey, this is a game, this is something you should be able to enjoy in your free time. It's not something that should demand your attention and your time to complete. Where it's people fucking grinding weeks to get an event. And I don't mind it as much when it's like the tech tree itself, because yeah, okay, you can just call it progression. That's fine. I am okay with that. However, when you put a timer on it and say, if you don't get here by this time, then you're not going to get it, then you have no choice but to play that much. Or miss out. Whale hunting? I'm not sure if it's whale hunting. It could be. I'm not familiar with the term, but it could be.
Okay, we're good to go.
And I've gotten, if it isn't already obvious by the amount of event vehicles I've shown off that I have, and I have like the Sturmtiger and stuff too. I have put money into this game. I don't mind it because it's a game that I enjoy and it's a game that I play a lot. Support devs, all that good shit. Yes, it's free to play, but I don't mind putting money into it because I've gotten my money's worth out of it. I've grinded for a bunch of these events because I enjoy certain tanks and I want certain tanks. Like the Sturmtiger is one of my favorite fucking tanks in the game. It's not a great tank, but it does something stupid, and that's what makes it fun. However, creating events where there's a time limit of, oh yeah, you can only get this during this time limit, and this means that you have to do something so many times, and essentially creating a situation where, hey, you have to play this game as a work. You have to play this game as a job to get this thing. Yeah. Like, I'm familiar with the term whale, but I have never heard whale hunting. It's just a game demanding that you have to play this for 40 hours in a week to get this event vehicle. And it's this week only, so that you can't just do it in your free time. You have to define time to play this game if you want this vehicle. That's what frustrates me more. That, like, the game is banking on people's anxiety to make them play. And that's part of the reason I've actually taken a few breaks from WarThunder was, I think it was the Sturmtiger. I had done all of the grinding for the Sturmtiger to get it, and as soon as I got it, the game goes, oh yeah, here's the next event vehicle. Are you ready to go again? And it was just that realization of, like, yeah, I don't want a game that's telling me I have to play every day anymore. Like, daily login bonuses be damned, they're just fucking boosters. I don't mind. But when you put an entire tank behind a daily login requirement,
Objective failed. Regroup.
I just think there's better ways to get people back into the game. Yeah, gotcha games are whale hunting games. Fucking loot boxes and dice rolls. It's the same map again.
Into your vehicles.
It's like I've also played a bit of Warframe. Like, I have a few friends that play it, and it's okay. I play it for the funny haha fucking, like, yeah, Warframe, do dumb thing, make music into lethal weapon. But then I see people that have put time, lots of time into that game. It's like, oh, my weapon does 300 billion damage. It's like, I could not care less. I'm sorry. The idea of grinding out that much time and effort to just get a bigger number at the end of the day does not entertain me. I enjoy things that give something functional, some sort of mechanic, some sort of gimmick, at least. When something is just, oh, bigger number or number faster, I find it frustrating.
Target destroyed.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Hearing something shoot off to the left. Did they get it? Yes, I know I'm driving out in the open and I don't really care too much.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
You are one of those people that like seeing bigger number?
Target damaged. Target destroyed.
Like, something that got me recently, too. Fucking... A friend got me into a game, is like, oh yeah, I like this game, I've played a lot of it, and it's like... Fucking PlanetSide 2 is a game that I absolutely fucking despise. Because it is a game where new players are at a statistical disadvantage in a PvP game, and the only way to level up is hours, days, weeks of constant play to even get a fraction of what someone who's been playing it for any span of time is. It is quite literally a game that does not want new players.
Target destroyed.
Because as a new player, you are nothing but cannon fodder to people who have actually played the game or paid to play the game. It is a game that punishes you for being new and wanting to play. If you are not there to give them money, then you do not want, or you should not be playing, is essentially the lesson that the game tells you.
Target destroyed.
Like, in WarThunder, the idea that BR defines the power of a vehicle or an item, and that in that BR, the only difference past a certain point is just player skill. How good are you at situational awareness? Do you know the sweet spots of tanks? Do you know the capabilities of your own vehicle?
Target destroyed.
But in a game like PlanetSide 2, you have a you have a literal numbers disadvantage. You don't have access to major game mechanics. You don't have access to all the weapons. You don't have access to all the power-ups. You have, like, one of the worst weapons, one of the worst everythings. And, like, and I iterate this again, like, the building mechanic in the game is also not accessible unless you've played enough of the game to unlock it. Because yes, you do get like some tutorial items, but you don't get any like anti-tank stuff. You don't get any like anti-vehicle stuff. You don't get any X or Y or Z. Oh, he burned out. Yeah, World of Tanks is just a numbers game. It's who has the bigger number is the winner. Who's paid more? Who has the premium version? And with Warframe, you can kind of get away with it because it's PvE. I've actually wanted to play Foxhole. I just don't have the money to buy the game at the moment. And like Squad, I also fucking... Squad for me has become like the standard for what I would love to see from a multiplayer like shooter game. Squad is it's a symmetrical asymmetric game, and I say that in the sense of the two factions are always asymmetrical, as in America has American vehicles and Russia has Russian vehicles. Britain has British vehicles, and so on and so forth. Each nation has different equipment, and different guns, and different X and Y and Z, and so on. Yeah, Warframe is a fashion game. It's like TF2 is a hat collecting game. But in Squad, each faction is asymmetric. It's just by design. And by learning a faction, you can learn what it does well, what its weaknesses, what its strengths, and so on and so forth are. However, one thing that is constant is, regardless of what faction you have everything for that faction. Mind you, there are some like setups where it's, oh yeah, you were this faction except for you don't have tanks. But almost always, if that's the case, then the enemy also doesn't have tanks. I guess a better way to describe the point a better way to get to the point that I'm trying to say is that there is this idea of the win more problem or like the snowballing effect, or where, because this game works off of spawn points, me as a player doing well means that I'm going to get more spawn points, which means I get to spawn more, which means I get to play more, which means I'm going to do better, which means that it's going to snowball out of control, and whichever team takes the advantage will win. Call of Duty has this problem with like kill streaks, where yes, you are trying to encourage players to play well. However, you create an issue where as soon as someone starts to take the lead, they now have bonuses, they now have vehicles, they now have skills and kill streaks, and suddenly the player that's doing slightly better is doing significantly better. And before you know it, that becomes a problem. Squad sets, here's all your tools, you get them from the start, experiment. Learn. Find the best way to use this. Find the cheeky way to use this. Squad is a game that does not have unlocks. It does not have progression. It has learning. And it's like, there's so many games, like Call of Duty, I have this opinion, like I did mention like the whole I don't like the kill streaks issue. But when it comes to like Call of Duty gameplay, it's like, yeah, give me all the guns, give me all the attachments, give me everything. Like, yes, if you really need to, give me some level of progression so that I at least am encouraged to test everything at least once. Play with this scope for a few rounds. Play with that gun for a few rounds, just because it's the newest thing I've unlocked. And then once you have everything unlocked, which should be reasonable to do, not fucking 40 hours for a character, Star Wars. Then once you've unlocked everything, once you've had the chance to try everything, then you get to build and you get to craft and you get to find what combinations come together to fit your playstyle. Squad as a team, build a game. Yeah. I want games to be something that is fun to play, and that the end goal, yeah, you could play Star Wars in squad because of mods, I know. But as an end goal, the end goal of progression, in my opinion, should not be grinding. The end goal for progression should be learning. The, like, high skill ceiling situation. I would say even Overwatch does this well. Overwatch goes, hey, here's... okay, they've made some modifications. They did have an issue where it's like every time they release a new character, you only get it if you do the battle pass, or if you buy the battle pass, you get that character. That was fucking frustrating because it was always power crept, and it was literally a pay-to-win scenario. That was 100% a pay-to-win scenario. From what I understand, they have fixed that, and now it's everyone has access to all of the same heroes. It was the best and fairest game, Rocket League. I haven't played it. I've seen it, and from what I've seen, it's not my kind of game, unfortunately. But what I was saying about Overwatch is like Overwatch. You get all of these characters. Here you go. Have fun. And the progression and the fun of the game is not grinding to get the next thing. No, it's I haven't played this character much. I'm gonna play them for a couple rounds. See if they hit that. They scratch that itch, or they fill that niche. Like for me, Moira's been my main. I enjoy the healer slot, or the support slot, and the deal damage and heal allies is a lot of fun for me. Also, like, the mobility of her, like, teleport, the range of her orb, it's like, it all comes together for a character that I enjoy playing. I'm struggling to remember their name, but they're also in the support. They're the one that has, like, one of their abilities is they jump. So when they crouch, they build up power in their boots and they jump. Trying to think who that is. It's not Lucio. Lucio is the wall rider. Dirt Bomb. I haven't even heard of Dirt Bomb. Baptiste. Baptiste I've also played because I do enjoy their jump. It gives that gives a similar mobility to Moira's dash, but in a vertical sense. You despise Moira. I'm a healing Moira, so maybe that will at least appease you somewhat. I am actually a healing Moira. But I've played Baptiste and I enjoy them as well. They're fun to play and they fill that niche. The only problem is they don't get the numbers that Moira can. So I'll usually only play them if Moira's been taken by someone else. That being said, I feel like I'm at 3-0. Did I get a full up tier? But yeah, the idea of a game just giving you everything and letting you as the player progress through learning, through experimentation, through finding what is fun.
Target destroyed.
Within hit.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones.
You hate the damage orbs. Just don't stay in a confined space, and you'll be fine with the damage orb. It's so fun to throw the damage orb at like a hallway and just let it ricochet around the hallway and just deny that area from the enemy. With Moira.
We are losing.
Yeah, it has a steep learning curve. You can do everything from the start. I also, like a lot of YouTubers out there, play Magic the Gathering. Yes, there is a financial aspect to it, but fuck that. You could print proxies. I couldn't care less. Like, I enjoy playing Magic, and for me, the actual gameplay of Magic is okay. But the deck crafting, just sitting there staring at cards, trying to see how they would interact, how they would communicate to each other, how their effects would stack, is the fun part of Magic for me. And it's like the fun part of Call of Duty, trying to build a gun with certain attachments that can do this thing you want it to do, and then taking it into a match and seeing if it does that thing. Borderlands did this pretty well. Borderlands 3. I loved just messing with different mods and different guns and different X's and Y's and seeing what sort of crazy creation I could make. Too many mechanics. Yeah, I can get that. HOL4. Please don't use the acronym. I have no clue what you're telling me about, Trust. Can you spell it out? Because I do not know. I don't know what HOL4 is. Hearts of Iron 4. I've heard of the game. I have actually not really seen, touched, or played it. Like, I've heard it by name multiple times. I've never actually, dove into it at all. And it's also, to some extent, why I enjoy games like Screwdrivers. It's not like... At a certain point with Screwdrivers, you could just make the same gearbox. And you could make a gearbox that would pass every single mission with flying colors. That's not hard to do. Making a car that can win a race is not hard in Gearbox. Or, not Gearbox. Fucking Screwdrivers. Sorry. I was messing with Gearbox stuff earlier, doing some... I don't have... Anyway, fucking... Back to the conversation. Screwdrivers. Screwdrivers, it's really easy to make a car that can win any race. That's not difficult. But the fun from it comes from trying to either min-max a vehicle, like trying to perfect something. Perfecting speed. I was not paying any attention. Perfecting speed, perfecting handling, perfecting, like, X or Y or Z. or even giving yourself a challenge and trying to see what best you can create within those limitations. I enjoy, like, the creativity, the crafting aspect of certain things. No, I am aware of what Dwarf Fortress is, and I'm terrified to try and touch it. Light no fire. Light no fire. There's a trailer. Based on what I'm looking at, it looks like it's an Ark Survival Evolved style game. When I say crafting, I don't mean Minecraft. When I say crafting, I mean, like, the experimentation. The science, like, the science side of stuff. Yeah, no. Probably not my cup of tea. Maybe my cup of tea, but probably not.
Attention to the designated grid zone.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
I have played Kerbal Space Program at one time, but it was back before I had, like, a proper PC. God, that fucking Sta. Is that Sta sitting up here with me at a high BR? Player card. No, he's okay. He's level fucking 22. Okay. Gear blocks. Yes, I'm familiar with gear blocks. I have considered getting it, but like I said, I just don't have the money to buy the game at the moment. Hello Games as a No Man's Sky. Oh. Interesting. However, I have actually, because of behind the scenes YouTuber thing, have actually submitted a key request for Gearblocks to create content for it and stuff. Oh, I'm starting to get hiccups. Light No Fire is a game about adventure, building, survival, exploration together. Set out on a I was about to say fantastical, but no, it's fantasy. On a fantasy planet about the size of Earth. It brings the depths of a role-playing game to the freedoms of a survival sandbox. Oh, I am not getting good vibes from this game. A multiplayer Earth. Carve a life together. Meet players from across the globe and build a life. Explore and survive. Construct persistent buildings and communities, or strike it out alone to discover the worlds of others. A procedural Earth. Fantasy Earth. An unexplored Earth. On the plus side, I do see rabbits. Cool. Fantasy rabbits, the ones with shields and armors. Yeah, I do not think Light No Fire would ever be something in my wheelhouse. just off of what I'm looking at, it is just Ark Survival Evolved. Enshrouded. I did see Enshrouded. Enshrouded seemed more interesting because it had like the underworld element, like the fog, the thing you can only go into every once in a while because like damage and stuff, because like the infected or whatever. Like I find that a little more interesting, the idea of like coming out of the fog, preparing like gear, equipment to travel into the fog.
Artillery barrage in your sector. Artillery strike. Coordinates. Charlie.
Coordinates.
Destroy.
Charlie! Move! I've done it! Open fire! Allied forces have captured a zone.
Hey, buddy. Do you not notice me? Good.
Target destroyed.
How about you? No, you're dead. How about you?
Target hit. Target destroyed.
Victory is near.
Coordinates. I'm sorry, just the British accent saying coordinates just amuses me for no reason.
Target destroyed.
Hey, buddy, you just saw my bullet whiz by you, right? Why are you still driving forward? Coordinates? Yes. Oh my god, his gun's still rotating while he's dead. For Italy. Alright, we're actually in the plane again. The thing we came here to do. Like I was saying before, I really enjoy the crafting element of like with Magic the Gathering, the deck crafting element of stuff. I enjoy that. And like with Borderlands, when you have like a relatively good access to items and abilities, that's also fun. My problem comes from like with Warframe, where it's like, oh yeah, you can only get these through special events and like shit tons of grinding. I don't find that as fun. For me, it's more of like a means to, oh fuck it, there goes my flaps. A means to an end. I would rather just do thing, make build, and just goof around and have fun and see what sorts of broken things I can discover, rather than actually do anything of serious note. Oh, Jesus. Alright, we got an immediate problem. I know I cannot keep this thing in the air. My only hope is to try and get as close as I can to the airfield, land this thing, and drive it all the way back. And I think this field in front of me is my landing zone. Gear down. I've played Satisfactory as well, and it's okay. It's fun to like sink yourself into for some like meditation essentially. But there is no test. Borderlands 3 is bad. I'm not sure why you say... I don't even remember there being a fourth one, if there is. I think Borderlands 4 was the one that was so bad it was forgotten. Satisfactory... My problem with Satisfactory is there is no, like... How to describe it? There's no end to Satisfactory. Satisfactory is just this constant grind towards perfection. But there is no perfection. It is a situation where you start from the beginning of like, oh yeah, build a little factory that gives you resources so you can build more factory, and then build more factory, and then build more and then build, and then build, and then build, and then... And there's like no end to it. It is just the grind. Like, if we're complaining about like the WarThunder grind, Satisfactory is the grind. There is no gameplay in Satisfactory. It is just the grind. I guess to put it another way of like what I enjoy with games is like having a theory. Hey, I think this would work well. With gear blocks or with fucking screwdrivers, with screwdrivers. It's I think this engine, this transmission would work. I see that, hey, it gives me this good power output. Let's actually like put it to the test. Let's actually drive it. Oh, I see that we're having struggles with turns, so let me work with the aerodynamics a little bit better. And it's this back and forth of like going between theory and application. With Satisfactory, it is all application. It is 100% application. It is 100% grind. There is no time to just experiment and have fun. It is progress.
Into your vehicle. Loader ready.
And with something like Borderlands 3, for the most part, you can play through the story and just experiment with like your character, because as you upgrade, you get new abilities and you get to like put points here and there, and then you get new guns and stuff. And like, if you're anything like me, have infinite golden keys because funny glitch. Then you can actually like just enjoy the game. You have theoretically everything unlocked, and it's just have fun. I haven't played any of the DLCs for Borderlands 3. I just got the base game. I honestly had enough fun from the base game that I really had no reason to even touch the DLCs. Like, I haven't even finished everything that the base game has to offer, to be honestly. No, not really. I've only played a handful of roguelites, and they're okay. My problem with roguelites is that they are...
Artillery barrage on its way.
Target destroyed.
There is no progress in a roguelite.
Destroyed. We've been hit. Target
With... So, like I said, with something like Call of Duty, there is this sense of progress as you unlock new things, as you unlock new guns, new attachments, so on and so forth. And so long as the progress is reasonable, it's fun to have this unlockable system so that you're encouraged to try the new thing. That new thing you just unlocked, see how well it actually works in combat. See how good that gun is. That is enjoyable. However, you know that new thing you just oh, wait, that enemy killed you. Sorry, you don't get to try it. You don't get to play. Hopefully you roll the dice again and you get to experiment. My problem with roguelites is that it is roguelite. I don't want to have my progress deleted randomly because something fucked up. I enjoy like the experimentation side of it. That seems fun. But when you find yourself in a situation of like, I actually want to try and find a fun combination or something that does something wacky. I want to see if I can do a melee only build or something, and then you play a roguelite. You can enable an artifact unlockable though to pick not random items. But it's just like that's the thing with like roguelites that I've played where it's just, hey, you just get a random build every time. And while it seems like I would enjoy it on the premises of experimentation, the fact that it's like there isn't actually any experimentation to be had, it is just use what's given, that I don't enjoy. You can't experiment too much in a roguelite. It's just use what you have. Use what you've been given. If thing has better stats, then you use it. And if something seems bad, just because it's like the first time you had it, would you ever grab it again? Would you ever do it again? It may have a really cool combination with a different piece, but will you ever play that because you had the bad experience that one time and suddenly you lost your character because of the decision? There may be a fun way to play a certain item, but you'll never do it again because it ruined your last playthrough. You're discouraged from experimenting. Or at least that's my attitude towards it. Because the game's punishment for a bad experiment is to completely restart you. Whereas like with most games, if you make a bad build, if you don't enjoy the thing that you are playing, you play something different or try something new. With a roguelite, you have to start over.
Target damage. Target destroyed.
like one of the roguelites I've been playing recently. It's a indie build, early alpha, experimental game. Okay, fine. But because it is roguelite, there's a lot of like weapons and stuff that I just don't want to touch. Because I found something that allowed me to beat the game. Why would I play anything else? Why would I experiment when it's just going to make it harder for me to play the game? Like for example, shields in the game. Shields are absolutely busted in the game. Like hard carry you through significant sections of the game. So it's like, if you can have a shield, you grab the shield just because it's the best thing in the game. And because if you don't pick the best thing in the game, then you die and you have to do it all over again. And it's much harder to do something like, oh, I'm going to try a different build other than a shield build. See if this works. Well, what if I could, instead of using the shield, I use this other item to make up for my lack of defense, or this item to make up for my lack of defense. But because it's roguelite, you aren't guaranteed any other item. So if you need defense and there's a shield, you take it. Because that is the only option you are given. I have not played Hades or Hades 2. And like even some games that I've seen where it's like, oh yeah, the roguelite, if you die, you get to keep an item. Or if I've seen one where I think it's interesting. I haven't actually played it, unfortunately, because I don't have time to play every single game I see that seems interesting. But it was the idea of like every time you die, your character progresses. Where it's like, oh, when your character dies, your new character is their grandson, so they have the same traits, but you can add a genetic modification to where the next one maybe has a better stat here or there.
Crew position.
Button up. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
Loader ready.
I think in that sense, if you have multiple characters, it's a little more forgiving because you can play around a character or a mechanic, but it still runs into a similar issue. It still runs into a similar issue of like, because of the randomness element of it, you can't plan anything. You can't create a character. You can't design something. It is essentially you grab what you're given. You take the best thing. And maybe in that situation where you have that easy to unlock artifact, when you have something or like a challenge mode or something that allows you to change and do things differently, that might be better. But I'm just saying my experience in roguelites and roguelites, whatever you want to call them, is usually one of discouraging experimentation, because you pick the thing that you know that works, because if you don't, you start over. Like, going back to, like, Borderlands 3, specifically. My first playthrough was Beastmaster. Just standard playthrough of the game. Nothing entirely special, just playing the story, enjoying the story. And I enjoyed the story. It was pretty good. Someone say it's not the best, but hey. That being said, once I actually started going into challenge modes and stuff, my Beastmaster, the only reason I was actually able to do anything in any sort of like challenging mode was because Beastmaster has the dog, or like the pet, or the beast, I guess you could call it. Wow, shocker. Where Beastmaster allows you to, or the beast can actually pick you up. And that's really nice. However, one of my friends actually has made their Beastmaster to be a critical chance build. Mixing that with some radiation damage and some weird wacky things. They basically just go around as a ball of... They literally just go around as a nuclear reactor. And they use the one creature that boosts nuclear damage and so on and so forth, and works into their synergy and stuff. However, when I actually started like actually trying in the game and doing challenges, doing difficult levels and stuff, I ended up making a Zane build. The sort of Zane build where it's like just as fast as you can be running around, because that plus the Doom shotgun means that you can get some really stupid damage out of stuff. Some really stupid damage out of guns. As long as you're sprinting at something full speed and you shove the gun barrel into their mouth, you don't need to aim.
The Allied forces have captured a zone. A little more effort and victory will be ours.
And that was really fun, just like being able to experiment with different abilities and different equipment, and eventually finding that, hey, I can just go supersonic and kill everything with a shotgun. And I know some people have done different Zane builds, different like tactics, and it's not a one size fits all, and sometimes it's, hey, this doesn't quite fit my playstyle. The skirmisher build, not familiar with the skirmisher build specifically. It's been a bit since I've actually like done a lot with Borderlands 3. But then I did the Siren. I did a Siren build, a melee build, and it was really fun to go up and like be able to one-shot enemies with melee, and then as soon as I turned on a damage mode, it was a useless build. It was fun for standard enemies, but as soon as you try to do anything more difficult or try and like crank the mayhem level up, it was just absolutely abysmal. But it's that like experimentation of, yeah, Zane's like my strongest build, my most fun build, But I've also built this like really cool melee build that, so long as it's in the right context, can one-shot anything. And then you have like the easy mode build, which is just the Beastmaster, because the Beast will, you could basically do anything in the game with the Beastmaster, because the Beast just picks you up, and yeah, having an auto pickup, especially in a single player situation, is really nice. But you can also make it so like the Beast itself shares some of your damage, so you can basically make yourself invincible in certain situations. And I haven't even played all the different characters that you can play, but trying to get back to topic, it's like that is the fun of the game. The fun of the game is not the running around and killing stuff. The fun of the game is sitting at your base, at your ship, and just going, I wonder if I could put this ability on this character and it would work better, because now I'm 2% faster. And then you actually get to try it, and you play Zane, and you go, wow, this is actually this is now one-shotting stuff instead of two-shotting them. That theory being put to the test. Shotgun, pistol, and run fast. Yeah. But it takes time to have those tools, to try and see how they fit together, how they slot into each other, and how they, like, their abilities or their bonuses can communicate in certain ways. That's what I enjoy. It's like with Magic the Gathering, my deck type, my like go-to style is combo decks. I want a deck that's going to be doing like 3 things, not because I did 3 things, but because multiple cards that I'm playing are communicating with each other on my board. Because I do this responds by doing that, and like drawing me a card. This responds by searching for something. This responds by bringing something back to my board. To see the synergies and be able to play with that and go, hey, I played a match with this, and while it was fun, I never really got what I needed out of it. I would have rather had something else. For me, playing the game is only to test the theory that I had of it. And like, for like Borderlands, oh yeah, Zane build, what if I make it faster? Is the damage worth the difficulty to control him? Because I've thrown myself off the map as Zane a few times. Yeah. My current pet deck, like the deck that I just love and I've played way too much, is Commander Rocco Cabaretti Caterer. Essentially, the commander themselves is a library search. Whenever you cast them, you can pay an X cost. When you pay an X cost, go search your library for a creature card of X or less, put it onto the battlefield. And I use that to find little combo pieces, and I get all of these random like junk cards, like really cheap magic cards, and get them on the board together. And because like they're on the board together, guess what? They now start talking to each other. And this one says X, and this one says Y, and this one says Z. And suddenly I have infinite mana. And when I have infinite mana and a commander that can deck search, I have everything in my deck at my disposal. I have every card I could ever want. And I can do really dumb things with that.
Crew positions.
Ready up. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
Loader ready.
I guess to some extent it's also like wanting to see what the game will allow me to do. Like, you've given me all of these tools, all of these fun things to play with. How far am I actually allowed to push it? With the Rocco deck, I actually had a combo that I could do that allowed me to not only search my deck for creatures, which is Rocco's ability, but because I could shuffle the top card to the bottom of my deck, I could shuffle through the entire deck until I found a card that I wanted, and then could force myself to draw it. Essentially making it so I could quite literally search for anything in my deck. So basically, once I was at my win state, once I was ready to finish the game, some of my win cons weren't actually... Oh, I'm dead. Some of my win cons weren't actually like creature based. So if I needed to grab that win con for a specific reason, I could just target... I could just shuffle through my deck until I found the card that I wanted and draw it.
Advance.
Yeah.
Roger, advancing.
And like, for me, the fun is the deck crafting. It is sitting there staring at all these cards and saying, how do these cards interact? How do these effects work together? How does this synergize? When this card says this and this card says this, would that mean that I actually get this in combat? And then actually, once you have this theory, once you've done this crafting, taking that to a table and seeing how that actually plays out in battle. Because your opponents don't want it to do that. Your opponents are going to try and stop it. So while they're trying to stop it, is your design functional, but is it also robust? Can it handle the heat of combat?
Artillery strike. Coordinate. Echo. Thermos. Destroy.
Echo! Seven! Acknowledge! Open fire!
Tank. 11 o'clock. Near.
There we go.
Target destroyed.
It's like, for my Rocco deck, I have 3 main combos in there. However, I have come to realize there's actually much more than that. However, I don't really care too much. Like, it's caused somewhat of an issue when I'm actually like playing the game, just because I know there's these 3 main win conditions I need to run towards, sprint towards. Depending on what I draw in the match, might determine which one I actually go for, because if I have something in my hand, guess what? I don't have to search for it now, so I can just go towards something specific. And then as the enemy is interacting with me, and as these different things are changing, suddenly I'm no longer in that perfect board state. So I have to try and figure out what I can do with what I have.
Target destroyed.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Target destroyed.
The glitch. It still works.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Target destroyed.
Fun thing, if you're on a cap point with an autocannon, you will not run out of ammo. The cap point will actually reload the current belt you're using
Target destroyed.
faster than you'll expend it. Which means I could theoretically never let go of my trigger. Oh, my barrel overheated. That's the only reason I stopped firing, is because the barrel itself overheated. Not because I ran out of ammo.
We're controlling most of the zones.
Artillery strike. Coordinates.
Oh, hi, buddy. Are you blind? Because I am.
Look on me. Open fire!
Target destroyed.
He was hopeful.
River. Target destroyed.
Ow! Like, I can't tell you how many times I've just like sat and watched YouTube videos that are just deck theory videos of like, not even, hey, these cards are good cards and stuff. It's just, hey, have you ever noticed you're not getting lands? Well, here's why. And even though you think it might make your deck weaker, statistically it doesn't, because if you think about it, you actually think about it, more lands equals more strong cards.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
The idea that a deck can become more powerful because you're putting more resources into it. even though you don't have as many cards that do things, the fact that just sheerly because your deck is more consistent, you can consider the deck to be stronger. Not because you added a strong card, but because you added more mana.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
That is like the idea of win more cards. Cards that really only function if you're already in a good state. Oh! That I did not see him. Holy crap, that scared me. You gotta go, enjoy. Alright, you have fun.
We've captured most of the strategic zones. Just a little more effort, and victory will surely be ours.
Oh no! No, no, no!
Attention to the map.
I Dude did not want me to stay alive.
Have captured a zone. Enemy forces have captured a zone. Allied forces have captured a zone. We have most of the zones. Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Oh, they're on C again.
Target destroyed.
turn-based strategy. Actually, I've enjoyed them. I played XCOM at one point. I actually really enjoyed it. XCOM is another one of those games that when I enjoyed it, like turn-based was fine. But back to that same topic of I really enjoyed just character crafting and going, oh, this character with this mod or this mech with this weapon or like so on and so forth, and doing that throughout the game was really fun. Trying to build the best team was really fun. Actually, do I have the XCOM next to me still? Let me see. I think I see it down there. Give me a second. I want to actually see if that's it. I actually do have the XCOM game on my wall beside me. It was on the Xbox 360.
Another zone captured. Objective achieved. Dig in.
Like, one of my favorite memories from XCOM was I was doing a, one of the alien ship invasion missions, like Mech Warrior, maybe. I've actually, what was it? Not Mech Warrior. It was one of the new mech games that came out that looked like a lot of fun. I wanted to mess with it at one point. Anyway, real quick, XCOM. So is XCOM is one of the alien ship missions, Armored Core. Yes, Armored Core 4 that I was interested in because I like once again, it's one of those things of like being able to build these different vehicles and like try out different weapons and different reactors and different like and trying to make a fun, good build.
Crew positions.
Ready up. Driver ready? Gunner ready.
Loader ready.
Oh, YouTube's having issues. Assuming the stream is still functional. So story with XCOM. Doing one of the alien ship missions. I had brought mechs with me. More specifically, one of the mechs that had the punching arm on it. The situation was I had put half of my team to go into the ship. The other half of my team was sitting because like this is my first playthrough of it. I didn't know exactly how the enemies worked, and this was like the first time I've done one of these big ships before. I had half of my team sitting at the entrance of the ship just in case something like snuck up on me. I didn't want my guys to be stuck between two layers of enemies in the center of the ship. And eventually, enemy unknown. I'm not sure which one that is, but
Artillery strike in your sector.
I think that's XCOM 2.
Strike in your sector.
Anyway, ship mission, had my guys, half my team was sitting at the entrance, covering it while the rest of the team was pushing through the ship, clearing it. I eventually got to the bridge, and of course, game logic, you have this big open area, it's the last section of the ship, it's going to be a boss battle. So now that I had like basically cleared out everything, I knew that the ship was clear. All that was left was this one last room. I decided to send the guards that were at the front door around the side of the ship. And because one of them was a mech with a punching arm, I literally punched a hole through the side of the ship and was able to completely surround the enemies in their own stronghold, like in their own bridge. And it was like, that's a lot of fun. The idea that because I chose a mech, and because I chose a mech with a mechanical arm, like the punching arm, I was able to do this really fun thing that I normally might not have been able to do. And that, yes, the punching arm is not great in every single scenario, but in this specific scenario, I couldn't have had a better attachment on my mech. You repaired that quickly. You blew all of the walls on that mission. And there was just like, oh yeah, my sniper. I gave my sniper the high jump. Because he also had another augmentation that meant like the higher in elevation he was, the more accurate he was. So I have this sniper who, even though he's by himself, which is like something you don't really want to do in XCOM too much, he had such high mobility that if something did happen to him, I knew he could not only handle his own, but also get the fuck out of there if he needed to, because he had the augmented legs. He could just go places and do things. And it's then that situation of, okay, if I'm building the sniper to be high up in the air, like above everything else, to be by themselves, now I'm looking at augmentations that assist them for being alone. And then so on and so forth. It's that crafting aspect of, oh yeah, sniper does better when they're elevated. If they need to be elevated, let's give them some like mechanical legs. Oh, if mechanical legs allow them to jump higher, that also means they're able to avoid enemies by just leaving. But because they're being alone, I do need to offset that somewhat with some sort of like mechanical advantage. That means that they get a boost for being by themselves, like a lone wolf trait or something. And like and it just keeps going. It's just like, what can I do to make this a little bit better? What can I do to make my mech? Yeah. It's like I could trade this fire. Oh, it's the end of my guns. Damn. What are the pros and cons? Which one would I rather have? Do I want to be specialized for this or that? There is no right answer. There is only what seems like, only what you prefer. And because you built your sniper a certain way, you'll play them a certain way. And yes, there is a statistically best way to play it, But for as far as the game is concerned, as long as you're not speed running it, everything works. Like, I've seen people play the game with only one soldier, play the game without any soldiers, and they just use, like, the robots for stuff. Play the game like people playing challenge modes in the game of like, oh, we're going to do a melee-only build. That's what I want out of a game. I want a game where it's like, oh yeah, I want to do a melee-only build. I want to do a sniper build. I want to do this. I want to do that. Instead of like the roguelite, which is I'm going to do whatever the build is that I'm given. I don't have a choice. Or like with games like Warframe, I don't get to choose the build I want to play because I can't build the build I want to play. I don't have access to those equipments or those weapons.
The enemy is winning. We've got to counterattack. Request air support. Attention to the map.
It's the fun of experimenting and just testing and trying and seeing what feels fun, I guess would be a way to also put it. Like, there's so many ways to put it, and like, there's probably a better way to explain what is on my mind than what I have done. But hopefully my point is still coming across regardless.
We've lost. But next time, victory will be ours.
Alright. I think I've got one more match in me, and then I'm going to start wrapping up the stream. I have been playing for 2.5 hours now.
Into your vehicles.
Ready up. Driver ready. Gunner ready.
Loader ready.
Oh, I did get him. Good. We did trade.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Ooh. Can't get my plane.
Artillery strike. Coordinates. Delta. 4. Destroy.
Delta 4, acknowledged. Open fire.
Oh no.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
It's also why I enjoy games like Sprocket and Stormworks. Like, just being able to build and, like, experiment and have fun and do dumb stuff. I guess it's also why I enjoy coding. Because it's like, oh yeah, I want to do a thing. Oh, so I just start doing the thing. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it fails. Sometimes it's buggy. But then I can figure out why it broke and fix it and make it better and make it smoother, and then slowly crafting this thing, this item, this machine, this mechanism that works the way I wanted it to, that works the way I imagined it would. I hear a really loud whistle. I don't like it.
We've been hit.
I'm dead.
Artillery strike. Coordinates. Charlie. 5. Destroy.
Charlie 5, acknowledged. Open fire.
He was not looking in the right direction.
Target damage.
Oh no, don't get stuck. Oh god. Oh no. Oh. I am surprised I escaped that. Hello, Mon. Hey, look, it's FC20 Bis. It's the thing I want to play. Man, I'm sorry, but we're going to be ending the stream here soon. I was anticipating this being my last match.
Mission accomplished.
I'm afraid after 3 hours of streaming, I'm a little too tired to keep going. I'm sorry. So, yeah. I really do want to be able to stream some other stuff on the channel as well. I know Screwdrivers has been taking off extremely well. However, I still want to be able to play some of the other games I enjoy. WarThunder, Stormworks. Honestly, that then there's Vintage Stories also out there. Just games that I want to enjoy playing. There's also some like indie games and stuff that I've seen as well. That I've been playing in my free time that I would enjoy streaming and just showing people, hey, here's this random game that I found that I'm going to be playing for a little bit. And I really like that idea. I know recently hit 1,000 hours. Yeah, you can put a lot of hours in Stormworks easily. How many do I have? Um, like I know I could just play Stormworks, or I know I could just play Screwdrivers. I could just play Screwdrivers, and honestly, I could make a good chunk of money. Like, I will admit, the Screwdrivers episodes and stuff have had, or not even episodes, Screwdrivers streams have had a lot of feedback, a lot of like they have been, so to say, financially viable. Um, but that being said, I still want to be able to play games that I enjoy and do things that I enjoy and show off things that I enjoy. Um, it's kind of always been something that's been baked into the channel as a whole. Wanting to be able to show off indie games and just random things that I find. In part because there's already people showing off a lot of mainstream games. Admittedly, there's a lot of people playing War Thunder, and there's better people playing War Thunder. I just enjoy it, so I'm playing it. And in the same vein, there's a lot of people playing GTA. There's a lot of people playing this and that, and it's like finding indie games, showing off indie games, and saying, "Hey, here's these random things you may have never seen before." I like that. I like the indie market. I have a distaste for a lot of major publishers when it comes to like game development. And that was like a big thing we talked about during the stream, is like certain games that I don't like, and I don't like certain trends in the industry, loot boxes, battle passes, FOMO, that bullshit. Um so yeah, I guess what I'm saying is I want to do more streams. I want to do a variety of streams. And while I could just play Screwdrivers every single day and it'd make me a good chunk of money, I want to do more. Do more than just chase that. Anyway, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for sticking around. Until next time. Peace.